Greetings, people. I'm back once again. It's time for some Nintendo. I have the notepad of Doom, because the notepad of Doom goes over like 2 pages for this thing. Man, am I regretting trying to do all this inside of a week. So, as you can tell by the logo, yeah, we're talking Nintendo. Once again, I'm not using footage from Nintendo because of the way they like to treat people who use footage of Nintendo products. So, once again, you're getting screenshots, and fingers crossed it doesn't get taken down at any other point in time. You will see, anytime I'm on screen, you will see me looking down a lot because that's where my notes are. They're like here. Basically, jump straight into things. Nintendo started out very interesting. Last year they started out with a nice little skit brought to them by Mega 64. This year they've brought out a nice sort of comedic aspect, very puppet Muppets. Like literally, I thought it was the Muppets. I thought we had the Jim Henson Company on this crap. Absolutely genius way to present, or at least lead into the first presentation of the evening. Did get a good giggle out of the Reggie puppet doing push-ups and, turning around and going, "My puppet body is ready." Because, let's face it, at least he embraces the meme, which is awesome. A lot of companies don't like embracing memes. Nintendo have gone full force with that one. This leads into the three guys on screen. I didn't take down their names. My brain fuzzled at that point. Basically turning into the Star Fox characters. This leads into their first, basically, showing of the evening, Star Fox Zero. Now, damn. Like, people have been waiting on a new Star Fox game for quite a while, and they're getting it on the Wii U, and it's taking aspects from the unreleased Star Fox 2, which anyone who has a RAM cart or something of similar ilk will know that you can get a bootlegged version of Star Fox 2 for Super Nintendo that actually works 100%. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because they're taking the Walker form out of Star Fox 2, adding in a tank form and a gyro ring form, basically giving your ship 4 nice little transformations. The rest of it looks like pretty stock standard Star Fox fare. Lots of flying, lots of shooting, blowing things up. It's Star Fox. They're not going to change their formula. You do get a little drone-like object, which when I first saw it, I thought it looked like Rob, which would have been a nice little nod to Nintendo. Looking at the footage for a second time, it didn't look like that. It sucks. The game is coming holiday 2015. Now, the next announcement that came through was about Skylanders Supercharged, which is interesting. An Activision game, very similar to what Nintendo's doing with their Amiibos. Why would they be showing up? Well, pretty much it's to turn around and promote Donkey Kong and Bowser being special guest stars complete with vehicles in Skylanders Supercharged. Now, the interesting thing about this is not only will these things work with Skylanders Superchargers, but they will also work by a simple toggle at the base of the statue to actually become standardized Amiibos. So that's an interesting way to do it. Why they're going for 2 characters? Could this be a prototype for a future crossover with Skylanders? Who knows, because Nintendo don't like talking. Straight out after that, we have the announcement of Zelda Triforce Heroes for the 3DS. It is basically a 3-person co-op game with a totem stacking mechanic being your main focus. The other focus in this is you can take outfits that you collect and create abilities from those outfits. I was wondering about solo mode for this, but they addressed that. Is supposedly you switch between the three links in solo mode, which makes it sound like you don't want to play solo mode. You want to play this with three people and three 3DS units. Otherwise, you're not getting the full experience. This is followed up with Hyrule Warriors Legends announcement. Basically, this is the port of the Wii U game to the 3DS. It will include all the DLC content that's already out on the Wii U version, plus new characters and levels added to make this a worthwhile purchase, due out first quarter of 2016. I'm not a big fan of these type of games. The Dynasty Warriors series never held any real attraction for me, so this one is not going to see my 3DS at all. Now, we jump into a controversial entry. Metroid Prime Federation Force for the 3DS, coming in 2016, is a 4-player co-op shooter with a 3v3 sports ball thing added in. It's based in the Metroid Prime universe, but it is not a mainline Metroid title. This, of course, kicks up the ire of every single Metroid fanboy that going, oh, it's not a mainline title, it doesn't have Samus, it doesn't have what we want, where, as you can see by the Change.org petition. Now, this annoys the crap out of me because you turn around and you say to a gamer, what do you want? And they will say every time, I want something new, I want something different, I want something that's going to grab me and bring me into it. And you go, okay, cool, here's something. Here's exactly what you're asking for. Oh, but it's not familiar enough. Oh, it's got the branding on it, but it doesn't have what I want in it. Shut up! Who cares? This is a situation of you don't know what you want and you're judging something before you even get a chance to play it. For all you know, this could be a great little co-op title for the 3DS that actually might give you a glimpse into stuff of the Metroid Prime universe that you never thought of in lore. But no, you're going to crash it because it's not on Wii U and it's got the Metroid Prime title. We want Metroid Prime re-released for the 800th time. Oh, we want another 2D Metroid, like old school like we're used to. Shut up! I'm sorry. This game looks interesting for what it is. It is a co-op shooter with a weird little sports game added to it. Sure, it's practically shovelware, but it still holds enough interest that it might get enough people interested in, say, a Metroid Prime sequel or something that might come in a little while. So if you little fanboys shut your mouths and just let Nintendo do their thing, you might see that they have this grand plan and you're seeing about that much of it. Going on from there, we got a nice little, almost Naruto art looking anime thing for Fire Emblem Fates. I'm not much of a Fire Emblem player, so that holds very little interest to me personally. But it seems to be more action-based, less RPG, which might be enough to bring me on board. It looks good enough, so who knows? I've got a feeling it is Wii U and 3DS, but there was no, this is exclusively on this console. That's one thing Nintendo really didn't do too well in this conference, was letting people understand exactly what was on what. They followed this up again with some sort of thing. It had anime, it looked gorgeous, it was quite interesting, as you can see. Unfortunately, the trailer was in English and nobody talked about it, and the title card is in English. I'm sorry, can info, please? I'm guessing it might have something to do with Fire Emblem. I think it might have something to do with Persona. I have no idea. Nintendo says nothing. And to be honest, that is a very, very terrible way to do your conference, to be honest. I want information. That's what all of this is for. Information. You're giving me nothing. So, they, again, just keeping moving, because this is how it went. It was basically game, 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 game. Xenoblade Chronicles X, due out the 4th of December 2015. It looks like it's a 3DS Wii U port, possibly. Again, I haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles personally. I don't have time for big RPGs at the moment, so I skipped that one. Bam! Next game. Animal Crossing Happy Home. Looks like more of the same Animal Crossing thing, I'm guessing, on Wii U, by the looks of it, not 3DS this time. Due out 25th of the 9th, 2015. I'm thinking it maybe has Amiibo support, but then again, the next title they throw out straight away, which is Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, is Amiibo supported. It will have its own line of Amiibos. Basically, it's Mario Party reskinned. It looked exactly like Mario Party. It has mini games and all that type of stuff. Instead of collecting stars, you're collecting notes. This thing's due out holiday 15. No appeal to me whatsoever. Then we get this hype video for Yoshi's Woolly World, talking about the development of this woolly amiibo, which led to the development of the game, which led to the actual amiibo being developed. Amiibo costumes will be unlocked. So basically, you put the amiibo on, and it unlocks a costume for the Yoshi character. It's due at 16th of the 10th, 2015. Jumping straight into the next thing was Yokai Watch, which is a Pokemon-esque game. Big in Japan, due holiday 15. No appeal to me. I'd rather have a Pokemon game, thank you very much. Now we finally got to something I got interested in. At this point I was almost falling asleep. Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. Basically taking the Mario dual RPG series, mixing it with the Paper series. Man, I'm looking forward to this. It's on 3DS, so it's giving me something I can play. These things are nice, small chunk games that add up over time. It's great. Due at spring 2016. We're getting another Mario Tennis Ultra Slam. It's on Wii U only. The only thing about this that held any weight was you can get a giant mushroom that turns your players giant. Big whoop-de-doo. Otherwise, it's tennis. The final thing that we get to end, game-wise, is we get an explanation of the history of how Mario is created using line graph paper and all that type of stuff. Really good stuff if you get a chance to check it out. This is used to give you an idea of what's coming up with Mario Maker. The only thing here that is new information is mystery mushrooms, which they were teasing throughout the entire show. Every now and again, the Mario character would get this mushroom and all of a sudden turn into a different character. I'm like, okay, this is weird. It turns out that select amiibo can be put onto the Wii U control pad, and Mario will turn into these characters. So, interesting little ad there. Of course, Mario Maker's getting its own amiibo support. It's getting its own specialized 8-bit amiibo, and it's also getting an art book. This game due out 11th of September 2015. And just to finish everything out on a good note, Nintendo have brought up a new website for Mario's 30th anniversary this year, and you can upload your own video, Mario tribute video, and because of that, they are giving a donation to charity, which is good. You know, Nintendo giving back, which is awesome. Overall, with this press conference, I couldn't find much to get hyped about. It seems that they have a lot of good ideas, but very poorly communicated. I don't know whether it was just that E3 is just starting to wane on everybody, and they just couldn't be bothered with the presentation, really. This is something you also see in Square Enix's presentation, that everything just feels so wound down. Usually Nintendo have a way of making you want to throw money at the screen. This time, not so much. There's a couple of games here that I might look into personally. The whole thing about Metroid Prime, again, fanboys, shut up. But, yeah, it's Nintendo. I'm sorry, this is probably one of the worst press conferences of E3. Sorry, Nintendo. You're just not gonna win the